Hey, Coach, so happy you found us. First of all, subscribe and like so you get these. We put these up every day. Second thing is make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. Be everything you need to become a better basketball coach. Go over and check it out. It's a community. We just got off an hour and a half call just talking hoops, sharing ideas. Nothing else like it. You get my personal email address. You will love it. Go over and check it out. Let's head off to the video.
14 yards of bark down, so it's a lot of bark.
Oh, wow. That is a lot. That is a lot.
That's a lot. And I'm not quite done. I got like 12 done, and then I came in and watched the Bucks get their butts kicked by the Celtics. So
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man.
I know. It is what it is. When they lost Middleton, they were in trouble. It's hard without you need a couple superstars on the floor at all times.
I gotta say, I had never really seen Drew Holiday play before, and that kid's the real deal.
Oh, he's good. We got three: Middleton, him, and Giannis. Now you can fill the spots. Like I can go out and hit it.
Yeah.
At that point, you're okay. Yeah, at that point, you're okay. But when one of them goes down, you can't win in this league.
Middleton was supposed to come back.
Now, from what I hear through the grapevine, it was his MCL. And it's bruised. So it's not torn. So bruised means that if he came, here's the question is, I don't think you push it. You need him for the next 5 years. So why would you, you let him rest, 100% heal over the summer. He's coming off the Olympics. That's probably the right decision. Get him healthy, get Giannis is, mid-20s, late 20s, you gotta hard call.
Giannis's brother is a bit, that guy's crazy. High energy, his brother.
I know, and then they got a movie coming out about the whole Giannis story is coming out on Disney Plus, so that will be really cool. I think the people can kind of know where he came from. Like, it's an interesting story. It's like I think he is who he is because of that story. He just came from nothing in Greece, and like the state of Wisconsin will give him Milwaukee if he wants it, as long as he stays. He can have all.
What's his contract? Like,
they got him in for like 7-8 years. They got him in a long termer, right?
Oh, they did. Okay. All right.
All right, it's just you. Looks like just you today. 2 nights a day outside.
Yeah, I guess so. Guess so.
Shoot away. You got questions?
Yeah. So we had a tournament this weekend, 8th grade. And we're in the championship game. Of course, they scheduled it right at the same time as the Celtics Bucks game. And I'm in Boston. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I went to the coordinator beforehand and I'm like, we got to move this game. Like, we have to move this game any other time. We'll play it Sunday night. We'll play it early.
Right.
Like, why 3:30 East Coast on Sunday? You kidding me? But anyway, so they came out and they were playing zone. They were playing a 3-2 zone.
Okay.
But the 3-2 was extended. So the point of the 3-2, the top, was at half court, and then the other two guys were well above the 3-point line.
There was a lot of space open then. There should have been a lot of space open. Yeah.
There was a lot of space open, and then the other two guys were basically positioned depending upon where I had my guys. So they were really trying to make it difficult to get the ball past that line, basically. That 1-2. You could call it a 1-2-2 or a 3-2.
Yeah,
but
it's almost like a 1-2-2. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it was very extended. And ironically, I've been coaching for a while. It's the first time I had seen it that high, except for this past travel season, my 5th grade. There was a team that did the same thing. And I hadn't seen a team do that before. I've seen a lot of stuff, but I hadn't seen a team do that before. So I tried multiple things. Some of it started working because they came out of it and they went into man, and then we started catching up once they went to man, and then they went back to that. They went back to that zone. So I want to know how you would play that.
Were they trying to? Were they trapping? Say that again. Go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the three guys up top were long, athletic guys. It was a tall team, athletic team. My guards don't have a ton of height, so that's
Okay.
one of the challenges that I was presented with.
Okay, so a couple things. Did they trap in the corners when you came across half court? I'm looking at it as a 1-2-2 more than a 3-2, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the
Yeah,
same.
it doesn't matter. Same difference.
Yeah.
Did they trap in the corners? Not necessarily. I mean, if we were able to break that line, they kind of that whole 1-2-2 sunk down to be within the 3-point line.
So the key was to break it. So there's a couple things I would have done. I would have gone 2-3 against it, because that free throw line in the middle was probably open. So 2-3, and I probably would have gone. I'm not sure the 1-4 would have been there at the younger ages, especially if they're longer, but I would have spread them out. Like, okay, those two guys at the elbow, who are you going to guard? I'm going to put 4 guys there and 1 guy bringing it up.
So you would put 4 guys basically across the free throw line?
Across the free throw, across as high as they go. And initially I would have gone a 2-3. I would have put 2 guards, because you always want to go opposite the number. So if it's odd, you want to go even. So this is an odd front to 1-2-2. So I'm going to go 2-3 against it. And I'm going to put a guy in the middle and then 2 guys in the wing. So if they suck the middle, then I got 2 guards. One of them's going to be able to get it into that athlete I put in the free throw line, or wherever they were trapping, wherever they were coming up to, top of the 3-point line. So initially I would have started with a 2-3. I'd have put 2 guards up there and made that 1 guard 2, and then I would have put 3 guards. So those 2 bottom guys I'm going to make them come up, because they probably didn't want to come up. They were probably told to stay back and protect the rim. So I'm going to try to make those 3 guys guard 5, basically. Yeah. And what did you do?
So my zone offense, I call it 13. So you have 1 guy at the top, 2 guys high on the wings, so pretty far away from the 3-point line and tucked in, kind of lane line extended. And then I have 1 guy in the nail, 1 guy in the short corner. Okay. And then what we do is we pass it should be an easy pass to either wing. Yep. And then the guy who made the pass face cuts to not the deep corner, but a little higher than the corner 3. Okay. And then we've got an overload. We've got short corner.
No, I like that. See, I think the issue is you had to break this, and then you could have gotten into that. That's the issue. Exactly. Probably. And you probably need to press. Yeah. Because that will work against this.
So I tried that, and that wasn't that wasn't working. Right. And then the kids, the wings ironically, they ended up trying to basically post up their 2 wing defenders to try to get the ball. And I'm like, so that was like a possession. I'm like, all right, this isn't good. So I switched to what I call X, which is basically 2 guys, 2 guard front, right? 1 guy in the middle, because in the middle is wide open.
The middle's wide open, yeah.
Yeah, and then the 2 guys down in the corners to see what they were going to do. And what they did is they still stayed 3 guys. They brought 1 guy up to guard the guy who I put in the middle. Right. And then the other guy, almost like they were playing a 1-3-1, that the guy under the hoop would basically shade to whatever side of the court the basketball was on to cut off that guy. So the only pass was cross. Right. And so
yeah, it's almost like a 1-3-1 at that point, because he's shifting that other guy over. It's 1-3-1. So then, so because I don't know, I didn't see it. Explain what happened when they got the ball over half court. What did that team do, and what did your team do?
So if we were able to break it, if we were able to get past that 3 guard front, then we had a numbers advantage, and we were able to the guys would come in from the side. I had the 1 guy going down the middle, and so especially the guy in the middle caught the ball. I mean, they were in trouble. They're done. But right, the guards really had trouble getting past those 3. So I said, okay, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna basically run a horn series. So basically my two wings come up and screen for that center guy. And then whatever side you go, whatever side he uses, whatever screen, that guy rolled to the middle. But my
that was
mistake,
open. Wasn't that open?
well, my mistake was this. Number one, my other two guys, they stayed nail and short corner. So the guy that was at the nail, it wasn't open because he was standing at the nail. They needed to go wide like a true horn set.
Right.
And they didn't go wide. And then the other big issue was, so when the guy tried rolling, he couldn't roll to the middle because my guy was there. So basically he did a face cut and we tried to start the offense that way instead. So we tried a few things and that actually started working, and we're able to get some buckets off of that. And then they came out of it and they went to man. And then
I like that. I like that idea of the horn set, of setting some screens of, again, and what the screens, what that's doing is, again, you're pulling your guys up. The problem is, and I don't know, this is 8th grade. They think they're open, but they're not open. Like, coach, I'm open. Coach, it's like, well, the guy can't see you because the guy that's guarding him is 6 inches taller than that guy. It's like, is that right? I mean, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm open. I'm open. Of course you're open. You're 35 feet away and I can't see you.
Right, exactly.
That's the problem.
Oh man. Yeah. So that was so it was just tough. It was just really tough to score against that zone defense.
And the thing is, what I would do is, because again, maybe even like the 1-3-1, I would work on, because you'll see this maybe again at some point, I would work on the cutting. My guess is even when they got it over half court, they were overwhelmed with the size. Your guys needed to cut the open spaces, like think about the half court line in the corner. If the ball gets there, there should be 3 passing lanes. One should be down the sideline, one should be in the middle, and one should be across. And my guess is they were not cutting. They were trying to run the offense or do what you told them to do. And they weren't cutting to open space, is my guess.
Open space.
And that's what you got to teach them. Cut the open space.
Yeah.
It's like, follow the light. Like, that's where the opening is, the space. Like, and that if you get that in their head, then even in a full court, you teach them to cut to open space, because it's all about spacing. Like, again, watching the NBA, the Celtics, it's like the Celtics were so good at pass, but they were finding open space. Like, that's all they were doing, is it was maybe an extra pass. And the second thing is, my guess is they panicked and they made quick passes.
No? Actually, because we've practiced it and kind of, I've had these kids 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade for winter, for AAU. And if in our league, the top teams put tremendous pressure on you.
Okay, so then there wasn't a pressure. It wasn't a freak out, because that's a lot of time. It's like, oh my God, someone's coming at me.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was some forced passes to, kids that they thought that were open who really weren't open. But yeah, and I've gone over with them in practice. That whenever you're facing a trapping zone defense, you need to have 3 looks. You need to have sideline, middle, and back. So you have to fill those spots. So to make sure that you've got your teammates got options. So they were trying to do that. I mean, some of the kids.
Can you simulate this in practice? Do you have 10 kids that you can simulate in practice?
I do have 10 kids. It's kind of funny because we've got practice Thursday night, and I want to try to run the horn series, but not have nail and short corner, have a true horn series and see if it works. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, but I don't have 3 tall athletic guards that can mimic, what those guys were doing.
Did they over dribble?
My guys?
Yeah. So what did the other team get out of this? Did they speed you up? Did they get layups in the other way? What was the advantage for them?
So once we were able to break it, if we couldn't score, then we would get into the overload, right? So then the ball goes to, the corner, but not deep corner. He would pass it to the short corner. They would trap him. If it goes to the short corner, I have my nail dive to the hoop. He's trying to bounce past it to him, but he's not open. I mean, they just clogged everything up in the middle. So I
Then you
told
gotta
the
shoot.
guys, I called the timeout. Exactly. I said, guys, we have to take what the defense is giving us. And what the defense is giving us is 3-point shots. So I'm sure this is music to your ears. Everybody's got the green light. Like,
If you're
take the
open,
shot.
shoot it.
If you're
Yes.
open, yes.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
have to shoot it, you have to shoot. This is what they're giving us. They're shutting down everything else. So, if it goes to the short corner, then I want that guy to fully drop to the 3-point corner, kick it back out to him, and you got to take the shot. You got to take
Right.
the shot. So
Right.
that was what we were getting is outside shots, and we hit a few, but not enough. I mean, we just weren't scoring. We had 17 points at halftime.
You weren't the Bucks today. Were like 3 for 35, so you weren't as bad as the Bucks today.
Right.
You can refer to your team as the Bucks when you go to practice on Thursday. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Oh no. I think you're doing. I think you're doing the right things. The issue is like, are they cutting to open space? Are they not over dribbling? Are they not panicking? And again, I think that's a great point. Is give what they're giving you.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were turning it over. I thought they were making you turn it over and scoring in the other way. If they weren't, that's good.
No, they really weren't. I mean, we were handling the pressure. It's just we weren't getting the shots that we wanted. I've got a couple skilled, bigger kids that if we can get it to them in the short corner, if we can get it to them at the nail, that's great. I've got 2 kids that are pretty good. They're good outside shooters. And they took some shots when they could. But they were still trying to get it to those 2 kids short corner and nail. And we had turnovers there. That was
the
the
long-term lesson is you need more shooters from 3.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Yeah.
Which is usually you can find those that are that at least they can do that.
Yeah. So that was the issue. And then and on defense, so they had a bigger kid that the coach put him on the post, and right from the first possession, the coach is yelling, "Give it to him! Just give it to him! Just give it to him!" So I had my guy playing on his hip, arm in front, deny the entry pass. If it did get in, I'd have my other big come over and trap, my guard drop to help the helper, right? And that was working, but what was happening was once that guard dropped to help the helper, that kid dove down, cut to the lane, and the big, either if he couldn't score or if he tried to score and missed, that kid was just cleaning everything up.
Yep.
And so it was that was frustrating.
Well, I think what you can do too, what we do with our guys too, and we double that. We basically say at that point we want them to kick it out and we'll recover. Like, everybody just do what they were doing to you. Everybody, it's retreat at that point. Like, so that one guard, but everybody sinks, because unless he's a really skilled big, most of them have a hard time. They're not passing to the other corner over their head. They're passing out, or maybe the same side wing. Maybe the really good bigs can get the guy flashing down the main lane, but most of them aren't. First of all, most of them aren't giving it up. Second of all, most of them aren't making passes other than ball side. So sink and protect at that point is usually.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I called a timeout in the beginning of the second half, and I said, okay, change the plans. We need to adjust. They had one kid who was a good shooter. We had played them before. One kid was a good shooter, and I said, all right, whoever's guarding number 2, you stay on him. But as soon as it goes in, I want the rest of the 4 of you to just run down to the paint, get in there and clog it up. Just clog. I said, make them kick it out. Make one of the other kids shoot from the outside. They haven't hit an outside shot yet. But if you're on 2, stay on 2. You don't collapse. But everybody else go in. And so we had decent success. I mean, I think they only scored like 50 points on us, which is a decent amount. But the bigger issue was us scoring. Where we were able to, so that was a challenge, the big guy. But what really worked was around the 7-minute mark left in the game. We were down 20.
And you
So
pressured.
it might have been 7-8 minutes, down 20. and I threw an extended 1-3-1 on him. And so basically, we're trapping all four corners, and we ran that for the first 5 possessions. We ran it. We got 4 turnovers out of it, and we got it back to within 9.
That's a good rule. Pressure teams don't like to be pressured. I'm just telling you. It's weird. It's a weird thing. They don't like, how dare you come at us? Like, yeah.
I was shocked because their guards were skilled and they were big. So I'm like, we'll give it a shot. Like, well, we got to try something. And I figured, so I put my tallest guys, at the top of the 1-3-1, right? The wings and the guy. But I was thinking they're just going to be able to pass right over this trap. And they panicked and they were.
Well, what I would do too, what I've done in the past, especially at that level, is I'll even if they make a little, I'll test things throughout the game just for change-ups, because if they get in a routine, they're like, my guess is their pressure against you, they were feeling good about it, and then you countered it. That's why they went to man, but they came back to it. Like, it's one of those things where I just got to get you out of rhythm. Like, if you're doing that to me, maybe I'm going to throw a full court press on you. Just think, I just don't want you to feel comfortable doing what you're doing. I want to counter what you're doing. And that's probably what happened, is they were comfortable what you were doing defensively. And then all of a sudden you threw something else. It's like, whoa.
It was funny because so for defense, it started off with man, and we were fronting the guy and then doubling. And so the coach is barking out orders. And then when he switched to man, he's like, switch on everything. So I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to screen the heck out of him. Then we're going to, pass and screen away, or we're going to do ball screens to get guys open and cut. And so, but he was continually barking out orders. And then when I called a timeout and I drew up the 1-3-1, he sees it and he's like, all right, guys, just be smart. Like, he had no idea what to do about it. No. I just started chuckling.
1-3-1 throw people. I'm telling you, that is a good thing to work on. I'd work on that on Thursday. I mean, I'm telling you, people can handle, even the one he threw at you is a little bit easier to counter, except when he did that one, like, kind of rotation. But 1-3-1 throw people, I don't know why. It does. That and the run and jump is, if the run and jump is run well, it throws people, because it's like, what are they doing? Are they manning? What it's like that.
I tried doing that. So basically, towards the end of, I would say 3/4 of the way through the first half, I went to a full court man, and basically as soon as the guard starts doing a speed dribble, the closest guy jumps him, right? So run and jump, and then you have to rotate. At that point, we're trapping. Now the other 3 guys are in a zone, take away sideline, middle, and back, right? And but their guards were just their guards were more athletic than some of my guards.
So you know what I've done is, in this can work. I've done it at my level, even, is first pass trap. That's it. That's it. So we call it like fire. And as soon as the ball comes over half court, the first pass that's made, and usually we say to the side, but the first pass, because they pass at the top, we don't do it. But the first one pass to the side, we trap, because we know it's coming and they don't.
Right.
So
you only do that
once.
You do that when they cross half.
Yeah,
you don't
half
do it in
court. Yep. First pass half court. Throw it. They usually, most offenses enter on a wing. And then we work on, we're only doing this one time, and then we're on a straight man or whatever you're going to, pack line or no middle or funnel down or whatever you're running. We're going to do it once. So so they pass it to the wing, and then I say, this is like our house is on fire. You got to go. We're selling out. You can't make it. We give up a lap. I don't care. You're just taking the closest passes away, and the point, the from all of my youth and high school, it always is a plus to do it. Always works. But you can't do it 20 times. You can only do it like 5 or 6 times. And they got to sell out. Like, they got to go, like, they got to know that we're trapping. We're going for the steal. We're going to get layups, because we get 3 layups, they get 1 layup, we're up 4. It's a plus
So when
4.
when you trap the first pass, right? So the guard comes over, he passes to the wing. The guy who was guarding the guy who made the pass,
It's the 2 closest guys. Whoever's
so
the
it's not
closest.
necessarily the guy who was defending the guy who made the pass.
Nope.
It's not necessarily him.
Nope.
Okay.
Play
And then
with it
what are the
because you can make different rules on it. We've made rules where your guy passes, you're the one trapping.
Yeah,
But we've also done the 2 closest. But it's like it just depends on how fast and how athletic they can get to the spots.
Yeah.
They usually look to pass back to where they were. You know, it's on a wing, so they only have so many options, you know. So
Yeah.
I say the pass across is where they want to go. That's the one where you sit and you can get the steal and you're going to get a layup. They don't look to the post on a pan because they're panicked. It's like, what the hell? You haven't trapped us for 6 minutes and now you trap us 3 straight times.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll run fire a couple times and I'll take it off.
Yeah.
And then we'll just run our man because they won't know. They don't know, or we'll run fire after a timeout or something like that. But
okay.
It's so easy to put in and they like it and that's why it works. The plus minus is crazy good.
I've done yes, as soon as they come over half, we're gonna trap the first pass, but the guy who's defending the point guard who brings it over, you're basically following the ball and you and the other guy are going to be setting the trap. The issue there is if he wants to go back, and so if that guy's not running down the passing lane, hands up, you know, they can make that pass back and then that guy drives right down the middle.
Right.
You know,
I mean, it's like I want everybody on that side. I wanted the skip pass to be the only thing that beats us.
So you have everybody rotate.
Because it's your house is on fire, man. You're going to get the water. Everyone's coming over. Skip is fine because then as soon as the pass is out, when we practice scramble, but it's basically find somebody to guard. Then we're man.
Right.
Find somebody. I don't care. We can switch back later.
Okay.
But it's like you basically get 5 guys on one side of the court.
Right.
And you'll get steals. If it sounds like your guards are pretty athletic. You'll get steals if they're quick. They sit back, you know. And again, part of that's you got to just do it. And it's like they learn those reads. They really do learn those reads.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. And fire. I like it.
Your house is on fire. I'm not that original, you know.
We gotta do something.
Fire.
Yeah, the ship is sinking. Like we need some turnovers here.
Right. It's like it's one of those things. It's like they've made a little run. Let's throw fire at them for a couple possessions. It's just enough because you've seen enough games. Like all you got to do is get the momentum shifted. Like because when things start going, it's like crap. I got to stop it from getting worse. It's like Celtics game today. It was close and then they just whoop, and it's like we didn't have a counter. You need a counter.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So that was that game. It was funny when in the second half when we were running the 1-3-1 and we had like 4 turnovers in the first 5 possessions. One of the kids on the bench is like, "Why aren't we playing this the whole game?" I'm like, well, because you're gonna figure it out at some point. We have it in our back pocket to like spring on them, and you can use it for 5-6 possessions, and then
there's your future coach. There's your future coach right there, baby.
Yeah, that's so true.
I know. Why do we just give the ball to Giannis and have him dribble to the basket every time? I don't know. You'd have to ask Bud.
Yeah, seriously. It was funny at halftime. I ran over and I looked at the book, and I had one of my dads doing the book, and I tell him, if it's a 2-pointer, write 2, but if they score in the paint, put a circle around it, and that way I know whether or not the 2s are in close to the hoop or if it's an outside shot. And so I ran over, I looked at the book real quick, and like all of their 2s had circles around them, and I'm like, they're just killing us inside because they had that big kid, number 10. And so I went over and I'm like, all right, we're gonna start off. We're gonna throw a zone at them on defense in the second half to just get everybody in the middle. And the zone that I use when we have penetrating guys, so it sets up like a 3-2. But the guy at the top, we call him the revolver. And so basically he follows and comes down the lane line, all the way down to the block. He'll go all the way back up and all the way down. And then the two bigs on the blocks, if it gets kicked out to the 3-point, they come over and the revolver will come down here. So basically the revolver stays between the ball and the hoop at all times, right? We'll either do that or we'll do the rotation where this big will come over, this big then goes over to cover that block, and then the guard comes down to turn it into a 2-3. So depending upon what we're doing. So I said, all right, we're going to do 32 revolver so that we can stop this penetration.
I've done that with the guy coming. I like that.
Yeah, and typically it works if they're not shooting from outside and they're just driving, because that guy is staying between the ball. They have to get past the guy who's in front of them. Then they got to get past the revolver. And if they get past them, then the weak side can go over and help. So it's really effective at shutting down kind of that penetration. But what was happening was, because we didn't have anybody specifically manning up on number 10, he just found the openings within the zone and he just caught it and he was able to score. They had 25 points at half, and 3 minutes later, we're running 32 revolver, and they were up to 37. I go to the guy at the book. I'm like, how many did they have at half? He's like 25. I'm like, all right, they just scored like 12 points on us in like no time. I'm like, all right, we're getting rid of no more 32 revolver.
It sounds like they had some legit players though too. It sounds like they had some legit players.
They did. Yeah, that big he was a problem. And then again, when we doubled off of him and the guard dropped to take away the other big, that athletic guard he just would crash and they'd find him. And so they had good players. They definitely had very good players. But
what are you going to do about that? Like, sometimes it's just like, all right, well, were your boys frustrated? Were they mad? Have they lost to him twice this year? Is like, how do they feel about this? That's part of the battle.
The first time we lost to him, I didn't have one of my starters. So I think there was hope that this time, since we had the starter, that we would do well. And when they went to man, we beat them. If it was a man v man game, the entire game, we would have won. Very confident in that. But so they were, it was a championship game. They were upset. But
I think that's a good point to them, that we got to figure this out. We got to be able to hit shots from the outside. We got to be able to find space. I think that's a legitimate conversation. I would have that some the next practice. It's like, that's your bar, and we play him in man, but that coach knows what he's doing. He's not going to play man against us next time, because we'll see him again. So what are we going to do the next time? Like, we got to hit those shots. We got to handle the pressure. We got to stop, I think that's the discussion you have, because that's the learning part. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you feel like you can play a man versus man, then they're not that much better than you. They're longer, maybe, or a little bit more athletic, but that doesn't mean they're that much better.
Yeah. Our man offense they've been doing it since 5th grade, so they're really, really good at it.
That's why he's not doing it.
So that's it's funny, ever since 5th grade, playing against the zone has always been our Achilles heel, and it wasn't until probably a year ago that we actually kind of cracked it, and they've been getting a lot better at it. But
you beat zones by shooting. I'm just telling you. Like, you can't zone me. If I can shoot from outside consistently and we move the ball, you can't beat. I want you to zone us. Like, if we can shoot from the outside. So he's zoning you because he knows he can't man you, because you're going to break him down. So now he's going to try to turn you over, and he's going to try to let you take outside shots. Because that's why it's turnover initial is my guess. And then we're going to pack. We're going to go ahead.
So if we do get a shot up, it's an outside shot. And yeah, so they got to shoot, and we do a ton of shooting, but
No, but I mean, I think that's a mental part to them. It's like, well, the next time we play them, I mean, I
yeah,
always have these discussions. It's like the next time we play them, here's what's going to happen. And we're going to hit those shots and we're going to be ready to take them. And
right.
then, did you crash the boards? Did they beat you in transition then when you missed? What happened?
They were getting, I mean, they were getting the rebounds. I mean, they had definitely two kids that were taller than any of my kids. Um, we weren't getting a ton of offensive rebounds. Even defensive rebounds were tough. And that's kind of been an Achilles heel with this team as well. Matter of fact, we went into this tournament and I told them, guys, the one thing I want everybody to focus on this tournament is boxing out. I just want to own the boards. I want all 5 guys to box out. The other thing they do, which drives me up a wall, is the pass gets kicked out. The kid on the other team is about to shoot a 3, and they run and they jump as if they're actually going to block the 3-point shot, right? If they don't foul them, I said, listen, if you don't, you're either going to foul them and then you're going to give them 3 free throws, or you've just completely taken yourself out of
Right.
the play.
Don't do that. That's a terrible thing.
I know. I've told them multiple times. I said, here's what we do. We run out, chop, chop, chop. Put your hand in his face so he can't see it. The shot goes up, spin and pin, spin and box.
My theory is I don't care how you close out, just close out and keep him in front of you. Just close out. Like, I don't care which hand, whatever. Just get out there. And then I would, if they go, and I would challenge them. If you want to keep doing that, then show me all the NBA teams and all the college teams that have run bys. Like, show me all of those, because you will not see them.
It's funny you say that, because I'm watching. So one of my sons is on the team, and I was watching Celtics Bucks today. And I think it was Horford. He runs out and he jumps up to try to block a 3 and flies by the guy. And my son's like, "Hey, Dad, if the kids on the team are watching this, they're gonna point it out."
That's one. So again, the stats teacher is going to tell your son that's an observational study. That's one. I'll show you 8,500 other ones that doesn't happen. So again, you remember the one. I'll show you. Let's go through the whole game and watch all the closeouts on 3s.
Yeah. So we had 3 games. We had 3 games before the championship game, and I had an assistant, and so he was tracking the rebounds, and we out-rebounded the other team in all 3 games. And one of them, our biggest win, we out-rebounded them. I think it was 23 rebounds to 7. I said, guys, listen, look, here's the stats. We out-rebounded. This gets us a second, a third opportunity, and it keeps them to only 1. We have more possessions, right? So, then they're getting, and that's how you win games. So that's what we got to do. But man, I don't know, getting kids to like box out. It's just the shot goes up and they either turn, stand and watch, or the shot goes up, their hands go up and they start going towards the rim. Right. It's just like,
there's a reason at last second shots, there's always the putback, because everyone watches. It's always the putback. It's not the shot. It's the putback on the last second shot that wins the game. Yeah. I know. It's
I've got like maybe 3 kids that will consistently box out. The shot goes up. Their eyes come off the ball. They look for a guy, hit him with the forearm, spin and box him out. But it's like, guys, I need everybody, all 5 guys.
Everybody. What, you didn't happen to tape this game?
No, we didn't tape it.
Okay.
No, unfortunately.
If you play them again, I'd like to see this team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. I'd like to see. I'd like to see then you playing that. That would be interesting. I'd be able to tell more by video than, obviously. Yeah.
All right.
If you play them again, I'd be intrigued.
If we play them again, so we've got a tournament. Yeah, we've got a couple more tournaments in this 2 or 3 more this spring season. So if we play them again, which is there's a real possibility, I'll have somebody record it and we can go through it.
Even a little bit on iPhone, it doesn't matter, because it will be good enough to be able to see it. But it would be, So give me the idea of length. Like, how tall are they? Are they 3 or 4 inches taller than your guys? Like, how much What's the difference here?
I mean, my big is a tough kid, but he's not the most athletic. He's gotten a lot better. He's not the most athletic, but he's strong. The other kid he's just skilled, and he had probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches on him. And if he got it down the post, he was either scoring, or he was dishing, or he would clean up a lot too. He would clean up a lot on the boards. I think he might have had more points on putbacks, just because our kids weren't always boxing him out. So
Perfect.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what I had that was fresh on my mind. I was like, I wonder what you would have done against that 1-2-2 thing. And it's always like, I'm driving home with my son, and I'm like, all right, I'm like, darn it, I should have pulled the guy away from the nail, because my son was the guard.
Yeah, you want space. Right? I think space is the key. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I love your office, Coach. You got a lot of bookshelves.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's a lot there that's built in. Yeah.
I love that. That. I'm a book person too, so you can tell. All right, till next time, Coach. I'm gonna go eat dinner. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so.
Oh my! All right. Well, hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
No problem. Talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Coach, so happy you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe and like. Go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.